This podcast is sponsored by nobody. Hey dudes, welcome to Splat from the Past, the only 80s themed horror sci-fi show where things can get totally radical. Now today, I will be welcoming back the beautiful, the hilarious, the talented Melinda Chilton, and we are going to nerd out on the entertainment of our youth, talking about film, television, and music from childhood. She's a decade older than me. She's part of Generation X, which is my brother's generation. And I am so looking forward to having Melinda back on. It's been a year already. Tomorrow it'll be 1 year, as a matter of fact. And it's going to be another fun filled conversation, and there will be lots of improv because that is Melinda's forte. You know, she teaches improv Zoom classes and she performs improv a lot, and she is just hilarious, and it's going to be great to have her back on today. Also, rest in peace, Tetsu Yamauchi, the bass player for the Faces with Rod Stewart and Ronnie Wood. You know, it's funny. I remember him saying in an interview years ago that he thought it was very vain for men to continue playing rock and roll after 50. You know, that's the same philosophy that Grace Slick from Jefferson Airplane and Starship has. You know, that's why she retired at 50. You know, I wonder if this applied specifically to Rod, and I hope that they were on good terms at the time of his passing, because I mean, I hate to see, talented men, brilliant men who made great work together fight, you know. Nevertheless, rest in peace, Tetsu. So, yeah, here is my new interview with Melinda Chilton. Let's nerd out. Hey, Melinda, welcome back. How are you today?
I am wonderful. How about you?
Just another day in podcasting paradise.
Hey, I hear podcasts are going to be nominated for Golden Globes this year.
Well,
next year.
Well, mine won't, but thank you for the consideration.
Yeah, I put it in there. So maybe in 2027.
Oh, that's nice. Thank you. So, going back in time, do you remember the first movie that impacted you as a child?
As a child?
Yeah.
Or as a teenager?
Whatever you can think of.
Well, the first thing that comes to mind, I was 16 years old, and I went to the movie theater by myself because I had a driver's license.
Mm-hmm.
And people think this is crazy, but the first movie I remember going, oh, it just hit me, was Platoon. With Charlie Sheen and Willem Dafoe and Tom Berenger. A Vietnam War movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was what. And I think I was 16, and I went to the movie by myself because I was all grown up. And I just remember, I don't think I'd ever seen a war movie before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think just the subject of that, it was like, the battle between the two sergeants on the American side. It was just, I don't know, I just kind of stuck with me. And Willem Dafoe had like the most amazing death scene in any movie.
Yeah.
In that Platoon, remember?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So anyway, sorry to start your segment out with
no, it's
a war flick.
No, it's okay. I totally get it. Back to the Future was the first one for me. I always had that fantasy of going back in time and seeing my parents in high school and finding out why they're so fucked up and why I'm so fucked up.
Oh, God. Another one that was really great for me was like Pretty in Pink.
Yeah.
Because I grew up with red hair.
Yes.
And, I still have red hair. But, if you had red hair in the 70s,
mm-hmm.
It was instant nerd. Instant nerd. You got picked on. Think about the redheads of the 70s. There was like Danny Bonaducci and, Ralph Mouth, and those were my redheads. So in the 80s, Molly Ringwald came on the scene.
Yes.
And she made having red hair a good thing. All of a sudden, it was okay to have red hair. So I have to say, thank you, Molly.
Yeah, she was my brother's like first really, really big crush, I remember. And we used to watch the John Hughes movies like constantly.
Oh my gosh, yes, all the John Hughes movies. Yeah, I used to live in Chicago. That was the first big city I lived in when I
Hmm.
moved off the farm. And he had his studios there for a while, I believe.
Yes. Yeah, he shot all the exteriors in Chicago, and all the interiors were in LA for most of his movies, actually.
Mhm.
Yeah. What genre did you gravitate toward the most?
Oh boy. Okay, is it when I was a kid, every Friday night I would spend the night at my grandpa's house and we would watch together, me and grandpa,
Hmm.
Elvira, Mistress of the Dark.
Oh, God.
So
One of my favorites. I had a girlfriend who had a girl crush on her, and we used to watch it all the time, always.
I loved it. Actually, I take improv lessons classes with Andy Goldberg,
Hmm.
and Cassandra Peterson was once in his improv class back in the day.
Yeah, I met her 2 years ago at a convention. It was not a good experience for all involved. I'll tell you.
Really?
Yeah, there was some weird politics going on behind the scenes that even the people I knew who worked there didn't understand. It was really disturbing, I have to say, really disturbing. But
Oh, well, she is Mistress of the Dark.
yes,
So, hey.
yes, and I read her book. That book says everything I need to know.
Oh, no, other than Mistress of the Dark and knowing that we've had the same improv teacher, I don't know a lot about her.
Yeah, all I can say is get the book and find out.
Hey, you know who
Hmm.
else I got to work with
Hmm.
who is huge in the horror film genre, especially in the 80s, was Tom Savini.
Oh yes, I've met Tom a couple
You know,
times. Yeah.
yeah, he created Jason from Friday the 13th,
He created
one of my.
the look of the kid Jason. Yeah.
Right, yeah, that very first movie, who he comes out of the lake, he's like, "Mom, I'm still alive." Yeah.
Yeah. And then his mother comes out of the lake in part three. They did a whole redo, but it wasn't as effective. Scary, I thought. I thought it was kind of expected. But
Oh, yeah, I still, every Halloween season, I always think to myself, who is my man? Is it Jason or is it Michael? Michael Myers from Halloween. I'm
Jason for
torn
me.
between who's my. Is it Jason? I think it's
Yeah.
gonna. I think for me, it's always gonna be Jason. I think Jason came first, or no?
Jason. Oh
Who came
no,
first?
no,
It's
no. Mike Myers did first, and then Friday the 13th was a Halloween ripoff, and then next thing you know, there was 100 ripoffs of Halloween.
Here's my Friday the 13th. I think I was in junior high.
Hmm.
So this was back in VCR days, right?
Yeah.
And so Friday the 13th, the first one came out. And my parents, my mother, of course, was like, "No, you will not watch that movie. Absolutely not." And so one of the kids in my junior high school had a recording of Friday the 13th on a VHS tape
Wow.
and brought it to school, and we started passing it around. So I
Oh,
got it
bootlegging,
and I played what?
bootlegging.
So I got it. It was my turn to have it,
Hmm.
and I'm a latchkey kid,
Me
so both my
too.
parents worked.
Me too.
Hmm So I faked being sick the next day. My mom and dad let me stay home from school, and I
Yeah.
popped that VHS into the VCR, and I sat alone that afternoon and watched my first Friday the 13th movie, and it scared the crap out of me.
Yes, I was 8 years old watching the Friday the 13th movies when my parents were asleep. And, because I'd seen them on the video store shelves and they like wouldn't let me rent
Hmm
them at that time, not until I was like 12, you
Right.
know. And
hmm
I
Oh, you
felt,
got to watch it at 12. Hey.
Well, I watched them at 8 on cable when they were asleep. So, like, I'd watch them
Mhm.
on cable, and I had a huge crush on Adrienne King. I've met her, and I've interviewed her a couple times on here, and she's great. And she actually has her own winery up in Oregon called the Crystal Lake Vineyard.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Ah, Camp Crystal Lake. Yeah.
Yep. And yeah, so Jason's always been my guy. I had already seen the Freddy movies because my brother's a big Freddy guy, and
Hmm.
the Dream Warrior scared the shit out of me when he turns that kid Philip into a puppet. I mean, that really fucked me up.
Yeah, that was not a Pinocchio thing at all. It's
No,
totally different. That
no,
was very dark.
no, because he took his tendons
Oh.
out of his wrists. You know.
Mm.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
I.
Yeah, another one of my favorites was, and I watched it on Laserdisc.
Mhm.
Remember Laserdiscs?
It's funny. I
I
never had
watched.
one. I never had a laser disc player in my life.
I never did. There was this store
Hmm.
near where I grew up, and you could go in and you could rent a Laserdisc player and Laserdiscs
Yeah.
by the day. So when girls would have slumber party, like their parents would rent the Laserdisc player.
Right.
And I went to one slumber party, and one of the Laserdisc movies was Cujo.
Yeah.
And I loved Cujo.
Oh my God, I had no idea you were
Loved
such a
it.
horror fan. I'm so glad
Yes.
because, I've been a horror fan my whole life, and just, my whole journey with this podcast starts in horror because I was going
Mhm.
to a lot of cons after my car accident and just loving like meeting all my favorite horror stars and stuff.
Oh, like I said, my grandpa got me started in horror movies, but
Hmm.
he broke me in with like Bela Lugosi and Lon Chaney and
Hmm.
all those guys. So yeah, I go way back. But I have to mention with Cujo, I grew up, I moved to Los Angeles, and one of my first acting teachers was Dee Wallace,
Yes,
who
yeah,
played the mom in Cujo.
we talked about her last time. Yeah, I just love Dee. I saw her on a podcast recently, a horror themed podcast, and
Mhm.
at the end of every episode, they say, "What's a story you could tell us that you've never told any publication, any interviewer, anywhere?" Right? And she said, "On when I was making The Howling." Me and my husband Christopher used to go in the trailer and fuck a lot.
Mm.
Yes, she said that.
You know what? I believe you. I believe
Yes,
she said
yes,
that.
yes. I was just dying, and like all the user comments, everyone was dying about that.
Oh, D, you gotta love D. I love D.
I do, I just
Yeah.
adore her. She just cracks me up every time. Um,
She falls under the category for me where I say, I want to be you when I grow up.
yeah.
But she's that cool.
Yes, yes. Yeah, and her first movie was The Stepford Wives. She had like a teeny tiny little part in it, and I actually asked her about it at the first convention I ever met her at in the Q&A. It was dead. There was nobody there at this Q&A panel, so I like raised my hand and asked a question about The Stepford Wives, and she was having trouble forgetting the name of the director, and I just shouted, "Forbes, Brian Forbes," you know.
And I'm
Yeah.
sure she appreciated that.
Oh yes, she did. Yes, she did. And it was great. It was really great. Um, yeah. So like my parents showed me The Shining when I was a year old, and
Oh,
I could not watch it
I
again until I
love.
was 7. And then after that, I watched it every Halloween.
That was a movie I just became the biggest Jack Nicholson fan. Like I had
Yes,
to watch everything with Jack Nicholson after that. He
yes.
just that yeah.
I became
He was
a huge Cuckoo's Nest fan after that. That's actually what actually opened the door for me to watch the Shining again when I was 7. My dad and I watched that movie when my mom wasn't home, The Cuckoo's Nest, and it became my favorite. And it's funny, I went 3 years without seeing that movie, and when I saw it again, I actually remembered every line, every frame of Cuckoo's Nest because it's that memorable of a movie. It stays with you long after you see it.
Oh, absolutely. And it's the Oh, who was the big? It was that big, tall character.
The Indian,
I think he
yeah.
was the Indian, and he kind of looked out for Jack Nicholson.
Yes, and he actually had
So
spent some
sweet.
time in jail when he was a young man, so he used that as a frame of reference to play that character.
Wow. You know what? I'm gonna have to watch that movie again. And oh my, speaking of just grounded, creepy, you want to jump in
Yeah.
the screen and like just slap her is that Nurse Cratchit.
Nurse Ratchet,
Is
yeah.
that Ratchet,
Yeah.
Nurse Ratchet? She was brilliant. I mean, you just wanted to like grab her by the neck. Yeah.
Yes.
She was so good at making you just, yeah.
Did you ever see her? Did you ever see her Academy Award speech?
No, do tell.
She said, I want to thank all the guys on on this movie for making being in a mental institution like being in a mental institution."
Oh wow, yeah. Um, Going to that set every day must have been interesting.
I've talked to a few
And
people who
probably,
were there. Yeah, Michael Berryman from The Hills Have Eyes, he's in it. He told me about being on that set. He was there the entire shoot. Not a day went by when he wasn't there, even if he wasn't in the scene. And he told me it was a real spiritual journey because there was real mental patients there, and just they all learned about
wow.
humanity. Everybody walked away
Hmm.
from that project just completely changed.
Wow. Yeah. And I grew up around mental illness, and it's just that whole subject's just really near and dear to my heart, as they say. And
Is
yeah, I think we've come a long way since the 70s and just raising awareness for mental health and um, just breaking through like the discrimination around it and the
yeah,
fear,
yeah, and
which I
then
think is so important.
I know, and plus, with Reagan closing all the mental institutions in the '80s too. I mean, everyone's been paying the price
Hmm.
for it ever since, sadly. But yes, you are right about
Hmm.
that. I mean, every podcast now, even with celebrities hosting, it's not just about their careers; it's also about their mental health journey and stuff. You know.
I mean, everyone. Just from day to day, just taking care of your mental health and checking in. I think is just so important. We put so much emphasis on diet and exercise, and I'm like, speaking of
Hmm.
blast from the past, I used to work out with Richard Simmons at his studio in Beverly Hills every Thursday
Oh.
night,
Uh huh.
and he was a real advocate of mental health.
Yeah.
Very much so. He'd always say, eat right, move, and love yourself.
Well, you have to be to in
And
order
it
to be
was
on a successful diet. You can't just lose the weight. You also have to mentally be prepared.
right. Yeah, he said that. He goes, you can lose the weight, but if you don't really do some soul searching and really learn to love yourself and accept yourself, the chances of you gaining that weight back is pretty good. So
Absolutely.
yeah, he was all about love yourself, and love yourself now, today, not when you lose the weight or
Hmm.
when your acne goes away or when you get the job. Just love yourself now, as messy as you might be.
Yes. I
Yeah.
I was born in '83. My brother was born in '73, and we got HBO in 1984, and he recorded everything. I mean, we had all the teen sex comedy movies like Animal House and Porky's and Revenge of the Nerds and Private School. We had Mr. Mom, Kid Code, The Wildlife, stuff like that.
Speaking of recording,
Hmm.
like with the VHS, I remember when MTV came on the scene,
Hmm.
and it was every kid's mission that I knew to somehow record Michael Jackson's Thriller
Yes.
video on MTV.
Oh yeah.
So you would sit by the TV and you'd have your finger near the record button on your VCR, and you'd watch MTV and you'd watch and you watch until Michael Jackson's Thriller came on, and you'd hit record and yes, I got it. And then you would just watch it over and over again all day long.
Oh
I
my
could not
God.
get enough of Thriller.
Do you remember when The Making of Thriller came out on VHS?
No, oh my gosh, how did I miss that? The making of the video?
Yeah, so this is what happened, right? So they made they made the video, and there was like documentary people filming it, right? And they said, let's do a special where we have the making of the video and then show the video, right? So they made a deal with MTV to show it, but then they also made a deal with Showtime to show it, and it became a huge ratings hit on both channels that they needed to put it out on VHS, and so they made a deal with Vestron. They were brand new, and they were very revolutionary in the VHS marketing department, especially. And that tape sold like 10 million copies like within weeks, and it was like the biggest selling VHS tape of its time. And I had it, I saw the special a lot. They would replay it on MTV like around Halloween time and stuff. The making of it's
Hmm.
pretty funny. I don't know how this transpired, but on that set, I don't know, John Landis used to like tickle Michael Jackson's feet. I don't know why.
Okay.
It was weird. You see it in the documentary, but it was a really cool making of, because you get to see Rick Baker just putting those yellow eyes in, and he's like tearing up and everything during it and stuff. It was pretty interesting.
I don't know how I missed that. As soon as we're done with this, I'm gonna Google it.
Oh,
I'm gonna search for
oh, I
it.
think it's on YouTube. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, no, I was a huge Michael Jackson fan. Actually, my 13th birthday, I'll never forget it. Um, for my 13th birthday, I got the Thriller album, and I
yeah.
still have it.
I know,
Yeah.
and there's like a reissued version where on the cover he's got a tiger with him.
Yes.
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 I wonder
I
what
have the one with the tiger.
I wonder what that's all about. I mean, those things are ferocious. I mean, they could kill you.
I I'm gonna check my Thriller album is home on my family's farm. So when
Hmm.
I go home for Christmas, I'm gonna go take it out. No, I think you open the album and
Hmm.
him with the tiger is
Yeah.
like the centerfold of the album.
Oh, okay. Do you remember when the Star Wars phenomenon first happened?
Yes. And Burger King sold Star Wars cups. They were collectibles. There was four different cups, and I have them all.
Oh God, I don't have any of those tie-ins anymore. You remember when Santa Claus the movie came out and they had that big deal with McDonald's?
No. What was
Yeah,
the big deal?
it came with a collectible book about the movie, and it had like info and stuff. My brother had it for a long time, and then it's gone now. It's long gone now. But like, yeah, I mean, I'd get collectibles like that. If you go to see the movie Hocus Pocus in the theater, there's like a
Mhm.
glow in the dark popcorn bucket. I had one of those, but it's long gone now.
See, all those things, we just would have held on to them. Hey, I still have my Cabbage Patch doll.
Oh my God. the
And see, I thought the Cabbage Patch doll was so retro. I was like, this is my
mhm.
80s thing. And someone said they're still making them. You can still buy them.
I'm sure. Yeah, I mean, a lot of retro things are available on eBay and stuff now, and stuff. Does your Cabbage Patch doll have a belly button?
It does have a belly button. And you know what, though? Her name was Isadora Audrey.
Hmm.
And unfortunately, I misplaced her birth certificate. Each doll came with a birth certificate.
Oh, that's hilarious. I never
I
had
know.
one.
Well,
Yeah, yeah. I
it's
mean,
fun.
the Star Wars phenomenon. The lines were around the block. I mean, I've seen footage on YouTube of like kids in line with their parents, and back then there was no internet. They wanted to know what the fuss was all about.
Yeah, I saw them all in the theater. Star Wars, Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi. It's just the three, right?
Hmm.
And then all of a sudden it went off into, yeah, but then the initial three
The initial
from,
three, and
I guess, the 70s.
then there's the Ewoks TV movies on Disney Channel, and then there was the prequels, yeah, later, of course, and we've had so many of them since.
There's so many now. I didn't know it was such. I just went on to Disney because I wanted to. I was like, what is up with this Baby Yoda thing all of a sudden? So I had to check that out. And I went on Disney. So what did I watch? It was a series with Baby Yoda.
Baby Yoda. Was that a cartoon? Because there was a cartoon of Star Wars.
No, this was with, oh my gosh, his name escapes me. This was recently. He's the hot Latino actor. He was in SNL and now he's doing Star Wars movies.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Yeah, I can't place the
I could,
name.
yeah, he
Yeah.
was in a series. It was part of the Star Wars thing,
Okay.
and Baby Yoda was it. Yeah, it was on Disney's channel,
Hmm.
and that was when I discovered, oh my gosh, there is just endless series and movies and the whole Star Wars enterprise.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say enterprise. That was Star Trek, but yeah, no, it's definitely grown. That's
I'm a huge Indiana Jones guy. My favorite was Temple of Doom. It's so dark and creepy, and yet it's action packed. And a lot of people have mixed feelings about it. I love it. I think it's fantastic.
I love all the Indiana Jones movies. And my favorite ride, of course, at Disneyland is the Indiana Jones
Yeah.
ride. And you know what? I once saw Harrison Ford in a
Hmm.
grocery store.
Oh.
I geeked out. I had just moved to LA,
Hmm.
and it was before cell phones because I was on a payphone outside of a pavilion's. And I looked up, and he was walking across the parking lot by
Wow.
himself. And I remember I didn't think, oh, there's Harrison Ford. I thought, oh my gosh, it's Han Solo. It's Indiana Jones. I mean, it was just, I geeked out. That was probably, if I've ever been starstruck in my life, is seeing Harrison Ford walk across a grocery store parking lot.
Yeah. Oh my God, I can't even believe that he was even alone and out in public because even at that time, the biggest star in the world. And yes, I know he's one of those guys who he's kind of a regular guy and he kind of rejects fame, but he's still a $1 billion box office star.
Right. And I wasn't sure if it was him because I thought the
Hmm.
same thing. I'm like, well, what is Harrison Ford doing here?
Yeah.
Doesn't someone shop for him? And I know he has that scar
Hmm.
below his lower lip.
Yeah.
So I followed him in the grocery store and kind of snuck around because I wanted to see if he had the scar. Because if he had the scar, then I would know it was him. And I saw the scar. So yes, it really was Harrison Ford.
I interviewed Paul Peterson from the Donna Reed Show, and one of Harrison Ford's first movies was a western with him and James Caan called Journey to what was it called? Silo, Journey to Silo or something, 1968. Kind of
Mhm.
a B western kind of a movie and stuff. Yeah, he got to work with Harrison Ford in his early years. He kind of knew him already because Harrison Ford guest starred on a couple sitcoms when he was like 18 years old, fresh out of high school, like Leave It to Beaver and stuff.
Oh, wow. See, I did not know that. This is fun to hear.
Yeah, and it's funny. He didn't he wasn't able to make a living as an actor consistently for a long time. So he was a carpenter. He did carpentry for a
Mm-hmm.
lot of celebrities and stuff, and that's how he kind of got in, and became a movie star was through those relationships through carpentry.
That's what I had heard. I don't know if it's true
Yeah,
that he was hired for some carpentry work by Steven Spielberg,
yeah,
and that's kind of how he met him.
and him and Mark Harmon actually worked for the same carpentry company too, which is
Oh my
funny.
gosh, that was my mistake in life. I should have been a carpenter.
Yeah, it's not too late.
Should have... yeah, instead of waiting tables in between auditions, I should have been building patios.
Did you have any movie star crushes?
Oh man, from the 80s. You know who my crush was? This was TV though.
Hmm.
I loved Magnum PI, Tom Selleck.
Tom Selleck, yeah.
That, oh my gosh, when I was in high school, my bedroom walls were covered with pictures of Magnum PI. Yeah,
Yeah.
so Tom Selleck. Anyone who knows me knows that Tom Selleck was my heartthrob. And now that I'm a mature woman, I look back at it. I think it wasn't so much I had a crush on Tom Selleck. I had a
Hmm.
crush on Magnum PI.
Yes,
It's just this
yes.
whole character and persona and this cool guy who lived in a guest house and,
Yeah.
drove a fancy car and solved crimes.
Yeah. Yeah, I was in love with Cary Grant. My mom had a paperback book with these beautiful black and white pictures of him that I used to look at all the time. And Natalie Wood was another one. My dad um, got his first erection when he was 8, seeing her in the Great Race at the drive-in. As a matter of fact, passed it on down to me. And then every '80s movie actress that I've met and interviewed, and it's funny,
Mhm.
they've all become like my aunt, so I don't look at them the same way anymore.
Well, yeah, because you're a young little pup. You were born in the 80s.
Yeah, I was born in 1983, and I've always been advanced. My parents took me to the drive-in for the first time when I was 2, and when I was 5, TNT was
Mhm.
launched, and my grandmother got me into classic, old Hollywood films. I've always been advanced. She used to take me to the library, and
Mhm.
I'd read the movie star biographies and stuff.
Nice. See, I could have been your babysitter, not your mom. I'm not
Right,
old enough to be your mom. I can
right.
say that. But I could have been your babysitter. I'd have
Because
been a very young babysitter, but I'd have been a babysitter. Oh my gosh, we could have watched Friday the 13th together while I was babysitting you.
oh yes, yes, and yeah, God, that's a very funny thought and stuff.
It's pretty much what my grandfather did to me when he babysat me. We were like, watch. Oh, what was that? There was a made-for-TV movie. I think it was like a spin-off of Invasion of the Body Snatchers. I remember watching that with my grandpa.
Well, there's a remake with Jeff Goldblum and Donald Sutherland. There was that, and the original is actually a commentary on the blacklist in Hollywood. I found out.
Wow, you get all the neat little, fun little Hollywood facts.
Yeah, I mean, I identify as a historian, then I know so many useless facts.
You should be on like a Hollywood version of Jeopardy. You would win it all.
It's funny. I was talking to Shelley about that yesterday about how,
That's why she's like the game show queen.
yeah, I've applied to so many trivia game shows because my friends and family have told me a million times I should do it, and they never take me. And it's like, I guess my sob story isn't sobby enough, about having my car crash. And also, they don't want you to be super smart. They want you to just be average, and then organically win or organically lose. They don't want you to be super smart. I have found.
Well, then you're just going to have to dumb it down when you interview.
I
You're going to have to
can't.
pretend like you're like the rest of us. Just go in and just act like you're average IQ.
I
And then they'll use you and then you can bring it out for the game.
I can't though. I just got to be me every time.
You know what? That's true. Yes.
hmm
Yeah, I always say, I got to be me. Everyone else is taken.
Yeah. Were there any movie characters that you could relate to?
Oh boy, that I could relate to.
hmm
Hmm. Probably in the Breakfast Club.
Which
I
one?
was the weirdo. The weirdo one.
Oh, I got to say,
Yeah.
she was a big influence on me because
Mhm.
she loves being weird and making people feel uncomfortable. And so, like, I've always made that a part of my persona. I can just say the most cringy things and get a reaction from people.
Yeah, see, I never purposely was weird. Like I really growing up, I tried to fit in, but I could tell by people's reactions to me that I was weird. I'm
hmm
not sure what was weird about me. Maybe because I was a 6 foot redhead when I was 10 years old. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. I just, you know what? I think I grew up in a really small town on a farm, and I just was painfully shy in many ways, and I had a stutter. So I think I was just backwards, just delightfully backwards, and I think that just made me weird, and people reacted like I was weird, but that's okay. Like you said, you just got to be me. So anyhow, I related to her. I relate to anybody who doesn't fit in.
Yeah, Peter Sellers and being there is one for me because I can say the simplest things and influence people, and I don't know how I can do it. And James Spader and Sex, Lies, and Videotape because he's a voyeur and I'm a voyeur.
Oh.
Did you go to the drive-in a lot growing up?
I did. I saw Benji. I
Oh,
remember seeing Benji at a
Benji.
drive-in movie theater.
I interviewed Joe Camp before he died.
You know, here's a game we should play. I'll just start naming movies, and then you name someone that you know from that movie.
Okay.
Because we'll be here for hours.
Yeah. But yeah, I did. I did interview him, and he's like, he's like, he's like, what's a guy like you who loves spooky movies wanting to talk to me? I'm like, I love all movies, Mr. Camp. It's just, this started out as a horror only podcast, and it just evolved into everything that I love, in pop culture and stuff. Yeah, because he was like, you're a horror podcaster. It was pretty funny.
Do you remember a movie? It was a made-for-TV movie for children, I think. It was called Escape from Witch Mountain. Escape from Witch Mountain.
Yes. Was it a made-for-TV movie? I thought it was theatrical.
Was it? When I was a kid, I guess I grew up on a farm, so I probably watched it when it went to TV.
Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to think. Yeah, because I remember there was because I think Elliot Gould did one of them, didn't he?
Good question. So that's a question for you.
Yeah, because like Elliot Gould,
you're supposed to know those answers.
Elliot Gould did a Disney adventure movie with Ike Eisenman, and I think it was that one, if I'm not mistaken. I'd have to look it up, though. And so getting into television, like what sitcoms did you watch?
Oh, well, as a child of the 70s, my parents, every Sunday night, everyone had to be quiet. No one could talk for 30 minutes because All in the Family came on.
Yep.
And everyone had to watch All in the Family. And again, I think as a kid, you could watch All in the Family because I related to Edith.
Yeah.
Archie referred to as Dingbat.
Archie? Yep.
Yeah. Archie! You want a beer, Archie?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't know if that would do well today. Norman Lear, I saw him in an interview once.
Mm-hmm.
And he said the Panthers came to his office because they did not like, it wasn't All in the Family. They did not like
Sanford and Son?
Not the Jefferson, the other one.
Sanford and Son, Good Times?
Good Times. I think they came to his office because they did not like Good Times.
Wow.
Yeah. That would be startling.
That was a funny show, though. I remember one time JJ is going to the store to get ice cream. He's like, "We got ice cream." He's like, "Yeah, but it's vanilla. I want chocolate." And she's like, "Why?" He's like, "Because if my ice cream is white, then I can't get down."
The writing on all those were just... And I think Maude with B. Arthur is also Norman Lear.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Norman Lear, yeah. God... The guy didn't become a success till he was 50, and he lived to be 101. That is a success story.
Yeah, any interview. I watched on HBO, they had a special. Oh boy. I think it was something about the... Anyway, I forgot the title. It's a very catchy title. Anyway, they featured people who were over the age of 80.
Right.
And they interviewed like Norman Lear and Dick Van Dyke at the time Kirk Douglas was alive, and just their takes on life and what it's like to live a long life. And he was on there, and he said that he doesn't think of himself as any certain age. He is the age of whoever he's talking to.
Right. In our era, God, there were shows like The Facts of Life and Three's Company and MASH and Different Strokes at WKRP.
What else did I watch in the 80s? Yeah. That was a good sitcoms.
Yeah, Webster.
But Webster and Punky Brewster.
Punky, I loved Punky. Yeah.
Punky Brewster. Yeah. But that was back too. When we only had 3 or 4 channels. So we all were watching the same shows. I remember watching Dallas. I was in 5th grade.
Mm-hmm.
And the final episode was going to air about who shot JR.
Yes.
And I remember going to school that Friday, because Dallas was on Friday nights. And I went to school Friday during the day, and it was all the buzz. All the kids were talking about. The teacher finally said, okay, class, let's discuss. Who do you think shot JR? I mean, it was like a class discussion because everyone was watching the same shows back then.
Yeah.
You only had 3 channels. And yeah, I remember wearing a button to school that said, I shot JR.
Yeah. Yeah, Charlene Tilton hosted Saturday Night Live. It was during that time when people were trying to get used to not having the Not Ready for Primetime players on, when Eddie Murphy and Joe Piscopo were coming in. And Charles Rocket said to her, as she was saying goodnight, who the fuck shot JR? And he got fired that night. And the irony of irony, during Prince's musical performance, he may have said "fuck" in his song, but the jury is still out on it. We don't know if he said "fuck" or "funk" in the song.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the irony of irony there. And at that time, Saturday Night Live was experimenting with 2 musical guests. It was Prince and Todd Rundgren that particular night, and there was one night, like the next year, the Go-Go's and Billy Joel were on the same night, and the Go-Go's have no memory of that night because they were so drugged up.
Oh my God.
And
I thought
yeah.
it'd go.
Uh-huh.
Go ahead.
Oh yeah, because the drummer Gina Shock, she's been on here twice. Probably my absolute favorite interview I've ever had. And yeah, I mean, they took a picture with Billy Joel and don't even remember it. It's so crazy.
Wow. My bucket list concert I still have to go to. I want to go see Bon Jovi. Is he still out and about doing stuff? He has to be.
He is. I heard his concerts haven't been good for a while, but yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know
Well, I probably wouldn't know because I haven't seen one ever. So this would be my first one.
I think
I have to compare it to.
I think they used AI for his voice on his last album, if I'm not mistaken, because he had some vocal cord surgery or something.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Talk about a guy who ages like wine. John Bon Jovi.
Yeah.
Hey, me who my first concert ever was.
Ooh, who?
Johnny Cash.
Oh, God, my dad had the Folsom Prison album when I was a kid. Used to play it all the time.
Yeah, I'll never forget. It was my first concert. I think I was 17 or 18 years old. He was coming to Wisconsin to this River Fest. Mm-hmm. It was a Friday night. So my dad took us. He said, we're going to go to this concert. I'm like, oh, Dad, come on. It's a Friday night. I want to go with my friends. Like, now we're going to this concert. It's Johnny Cash. I'm like, who's that? Mm-hmm. So I get there, and he comes on the stage, dressed in black, walks up to a microphone and just says, hi, I'm Johnny Cash. And it was in that moment that I understood what stage presence was.
Oh, yeah.
He just had it.
Yeah.
He wasn't doing nothing. He just was, like we've been talking about, he was just being Johnny, just being himself. And a hush went over the audience. And as we were walking back to the car after the concert, I was like, just silent. Yeah. I didn't say a thing. And my dad looks at me, he goes, that was Johnny Cash. And I've been a huge Johnny Cash fan ever since.
What did you think?
That was my first concert.
What did you think of Joaquin Phoenix playing him?
Oh, I thought he was brilliant. I really did. I was like, Joaquin Phoenix, that's an actor who did his homework. He must have watched and studied so many videos and so much footage of Johnny Cash because he had every little nuance down. He
did, and it was a tough year because Philip Seymour Hoffman was up for Capote, and he got the Oscar that year. I really thought, though, that Joaquin should have gotten it.
It was really good. So good. I just, oh gosh, I shouldn't critique people's performances, but I went to see that movie about, why am I blanking? Timothy Chalamet played him. Bob Dylan. Bob Dylan. He was great as Bob Dylan.
I want to see
There was
that.
a Johnny Cash.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you haven't seen it?
Not yet. I want to see it though.
Oh, you got to see it. He's really it's great. Watch it. When you watch it, look for Johnny Cash.
Okay.
There's an actor that plays Johnny Cash. And when he sings, he sounds just like Johnny Cash. I'm like, oh, obviously this guy works as goes out and sings Johnny Cash music. But when he was acting, he didn't act like Johnny Cash. Like I didn't believe it was him when he had his dialogue.
Right.
And I remember thinking, where's Joaquin Phoenix? Was he busy? How come he's not doing this?
Yeah. I think they wanted younger. That's why.
They wanted a younger Elvis, sorry, Johnny.
Austin
Elvis was in the
Butler.
movie too.
Austin Butler was Elvis, and he was good. I thought. I really enjoyed that one.
Oh, that was on Netflix, right?
Well, it's on Netflix, but it came out in the theaters.
Okay, yeah, he was spot on.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I just think that would be to do a biopic, and there's so many coming out. That would be such, I would think, an intimidating challenge to portray a real person who's so beloved and so well known, especially if they're still alive. Like when Joaquin Phoenix played Johnny Cash, he met Johnny Cash.
Absolutely.
And who's the actor playing Bruce Springsteen? I forget his name. He's in The Bear.
I forget.
I forget. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Well, he's famous enough. He won't care that I forgot his name. But I saw him in an interview when he was filming playing Bruce Springsteen. He said Bruce Springsteen came to set a lot and watched him. I would be like, whoa.
Yeah.
Don't watch me play you.
Yeah, Mark Maron's in the movie, and he said that Bruce, remembered him from their interview years ago and stuff. And yeah, it was pretty good, the experience. Did you watch sketch comedy shows like SNL and SCTV growing up?
I did not, but I remember. I'll tell you when I watched SNL, when I'd have a babysitter, because my babysitters would have to watch SNL.
Yeah. How about
you know what? Do you remember this? All this stuff is just popping in my head. Memories.
Yeah.
The Solid Gold. Remember the Solid Gold dancers?
Yep, I do.
I'm loving talking about this. All this stuff is just popping into my head. The Solid Gold dancers.
I love Solid Gold, and I could still watch episodes on YouTube. And I think I interviewed at least one dancer from Solid Gold, but she wasn't there long. It was Lucinda Dickey from the Breakin' movies.
Wow, you've interviewed a lot of cool people.
A lot of cool people. Yeah, I've been lucky. Did you watch Fridays?
Fridays. No.
That was
What was Fridays?
It was a Saturday Night Live ripoff that ABC did, and it had Melanie Chardoff, Larry David, Michael Richards from Seinfeld, Kramer, John Rourke, who did Off the Wall with Shelley later on. Who else? Mark Blankfield, Bruce Mahler, who played Fackler in the Police Academy movies. And they would have a host each week, and they would have a musical guest, just like Saturday Night Live. You can go on Tubi and watch it. It was pretty funny. They did some pretty irreverent stuff on there.
You know what I've heard? I am familiar. I did not see it, but I've heard people speak of it. It was kind of the competition to Saturday Night Live.
Yes. And
at the time.
Yeah, they had Billy Crystal hosting and Pat Benatar and lots of people. Andy Kaufman, oh God, he caused an uproar on that show like he always did. He did some mud wrestling with some chicks on that show. It was pretty funny. Yeah, it was.
I was just talking to. Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh no, I lost my train of thought.
I was just talking to someone the other day about back in the 70s, early 80s, all the different variety shows on TV.
Yeah.
And everyone had one. Like Johnny Cash had a variety show. John Denver had one. Sonny and Cher, Captain and Tennille. I think Dolly Parton had a variety show for a while.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they all did. I remember watching Dolly's, and I remember Burt Reynolds being on there, and I think Lee Majors was on there. I was a big Fall Guy fan, by the way.
Oh, to this day, when I'm in Hollywood and I see the Hollywood sign,
Yeah.
I keep thinking the fall guy in his helicopter is going to fly by
Yes.
it.
I remember there was a couple episodes with Buddy Hackett playing a homeless guy who has an imaginary friend, and like they have to humor him, and talk to the imaginary friend too. It's so funny.
Oh, my mom, there is a TV channel that my mother watches, and I
Mhm.
kid you not, I'm not sure what channel it is, but it is Gunsmoke
Yep.
24/7. It's nonstop Gunsmoke.
Oh,
So when I go home, I watch it because it's always on. She's always watching it. And it's so fun to watch Gunsmoke because a lot of actors got their start on Gunsmoke
right.
or had a guest starring role. I saw a 10-year-old Kurt Russell on Gunsmoke.
Oh yeah, Kurt Russell was on there. God, a lot of people were on Gunsmoke and those Western shows like Bonanza. That's all my dad's stuff. My dad loves TV Westerns and loves Western movies, of course. But when the Western Channel was launched in the 2000s, my dad was happier than a pig in shit. Like, I'd go over to his place. He'd be watching Audie Murphy, and I didn't know who Audie Murphy was until the Western Channel because his movies were never on when I was a kid. And my dad may have mentioned his name once or twice, but I didn't remember. And then like the High Chaparral, I never saw that either when I was a kid, and I just discovered all these Western shows.
It was weird. I was watching Gunsmoke,
Mm-hmm.
and they had a wagon. It was a scene. There was a wagon coming into town, and there were some Indians, some Native American Indians on the wagon.
Mm-hmm.
And there was one Native American Indian sitting on the front of the wagon, and it pulls up, and this Indian is being played by Michael Landon.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, is that Pa from Little House on the Prairie? It just looks so wrong. He turns around, they put some Indian makeup on him, and they put the band around his hair, and he was talking in this, I guess, an Indian accent, and it was Michael Landon, and I'm watching this going, okay, this is why we don't cast characters like this anymore. That's so bad.
Michael Landon.
A white man should not be playing a Native American Indian. No.
Michael Landon was a movie star before he got big on TV, and he was a B movie star. Nobody knew what to do with him. He did a teenage werewolf movie long before Teen Wolf called I Was a Teenage Werewolf. Wow. Yeah, and he did a B Western called The Legend of Tom Dooley, where he's up against the cavalry or something like that. And he did a play, I'm blanking on the name of it, with Jack Nicholson when they were both like 22 years old and stuff. And he had to drop out halfway through to do Bonanza, and that made him a huge star.
That's right. He was on Bonanza.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was handsome. He was a handsome guy.
Right.
Bonanza, Little House, and then he did him and the man who played Mr. Edwards on Little House on the Prairie, Victor someone. What was his name?
On Little House on the Prairie, Victor French, who did Highway to Heaven with him.
Yeah.
Yes.
Victor, I was going to say they did Highway to Heaven together. Yeah.
I love that show. That was a really cleverly written show, and it gets shit on a lot, but it's actually, I thought it was a pretty good moral show. My grandmother certainly loved it, and everyone I talked to has said that Michael Landon was like a spiritual advisor to a lot of people, and that he really was that.
Really?
He really was that guy that he portrayed on Highway to Heaven. Just, he was always positive, always helping people, and just being a ray of sunshine to people.
He'll always be Pa to me.
Yeah. It's funny. Pa. It's funny. I've interviewed, what's her name? Mrs. Beadle on Little House on the Prairie, Charlotte
Mrs.
Stewart.
Beadle, yeah.
She is the complete opposite of Mrs. Beadle. I mean, she's sweet like her character on the show, but she's got a potty mouth, and she's
hung out. A little bit more of a, She was a little bit more of a Dee Wallace. Is that what you want to say?
Yes, she is exactly a Dee Wallace. And she hung out with all the rock stars in Laurel Canyon back in the day. And she's
Wow.
admitted, I have her book. She admitted she did cocaine. She hung out and dated Jim Morrison and
Miss
stuff.
Beadle.
Yeah, I mean,
Wow.
she's got a wild past. And yeah, she's exactly like Dee. That's perfectly put. I never thought of it like that, but it's true.
Well, I'm not saying that I don't think Dee ever did cocaine or
No.
hung out with
But I'm
rock
just saying,
stuff.
in terms of having no filter, I mean,
Yeah, no, yeah, that's Dee. She delightfully has no filter. Yeah.
yes.
Hey, speaking of 80s and having crushes, let's talk about Patrick Swayze.
Okay. I liked him. He wasn't my absolute favorite movie star, but I liked stuff he was in.
Do you remember when he was in a miniseries on TV called
Yes.
North and South?
North and South.
He played
Yeah.
Ori Main. He played Ori Main. That was the first time I ever saw him, and I was like, oh, yeah,
Yeah.
Dirty Dancing.
He did a sword and sorcery epic called Steel Dawn, like right after Dirty Dancing. Do you remember that movie?
I do not. I'm making notes over here.
It's the
I have all
only
kinds of things to watch.
It's the only movie he did in that period where he has a beard.
Okay. I'm writing this down.
Remember, he was in The Outsiders and like Red Dawn.
Yes, The Outside.
And Youngblood.
Roadhouse.
Youngblood with Rob Lowe's a hockey player. Yeah. And God, Roadhouse. Roadhouse.
Well, for someone who's not a Patrick Swayze fan, you sure can rattle off his credits.
Well, I know his movies, of course. I mean, you can't avoid Patrick Swayze in general, but yeah, I mean, I did like him. And it's funny, he did Grease on Broadway. People don't realize what a classically trained dancer he was. That's why he was so good at doing. That's why he was so good at doing Dirty Dancing and the Chippendales sketch on Saturday Night Live.
Speaking of Saturday Night Live. Now, I saw Patrick Swayze in an interview, and he did say his mother owned a dance studio.
Right.
So he was a trained dancer, and he did not put that on his resume when he decided to be an actor, because he didn't want people to know he was a dancer. He wanted to be an actor.
Yeah.
But ironically, it was his dancing ability that got him in Dirty Dancing.
Absolutely. What were your Saturday morning cartoons as a kid?
Oh my gosh, I lived for Saturday mornings. And can I just say, it was always a bummer when I spent the night at any girlfriend's house when I was a kid, who, and I mean this with respect, was Catholic. Because if I spent the night at a girlfriend's house who was Catholic, on Saturday morning, I'd have to go to CCD with her.
Yeah.
And I would miss Saturday morning cartoons.
Okay.
I could not miss my Saturday morning cartoons. I loved Scooby-Doo and Captain Caveman, Jabberjaws.
Yep.
Remember the very, very... Remember the very, very first one? If you were a kid to get up early enough.
Yeah.
Because this was back when the TV would go off at the end of the night. It would just be snow. Remember?
Yeah.
And then programming would start like at 6 a.m. And if you got up at 6 a.m., the first cartoon was, I think, called Davy and Goliath.
Yes. Clamation.
Yeah. Yes. I think it was like a Christian cartoon. They always had a little message at the... And then it went into, Jabberjaw. Wasn't there a cartoon? It was like the Olympics. And all the main characters, like Scooby-Doo and Jabberjaws and Captain Caveman, they'd all compete in the Olympics.
I'm sure there was. That doesn't sound familiar, but that sounds very 70s, like Battle of the Network Stars.
I think that was the cartoon's version of Battle of the Network Stars.
Oh, God. Why did they have to snoop so low like that?
I remember TV bloopers. Oh, how about, let's talk about Hidden Camera. Remember Candid Camera?
Yeah, Alan Funt. I used to watch the dirty version on video. Did you ever see those?
No. There's a dirty version?
They had, I would say, probably about anywhere between 6 to 10 volumes of these, and I used to rent all of them when I was a kid. And there would be things like you'd see a girl riding a horse, and then next thing you know, her top flies off because of the wind. Or I have a friend who did a lot of dirty erotica movies, and she actually started in porn, and she doesn't talk about it. And she did this bit where every time she sneezed, her panties came down, and you could see how hairy she was. And I brought that up to her. I brought that up to her on here, and she was laughing her ass off because she forgot about it.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. Yeah, I used to watch The Girls Next Door with Hugh Hefner, the Playboy Girls, The Girls Next Door.
Oh
And this
yeah.
was like early 2000s. This was early 2000s, but they would talk about, I guess in the mansion, there were pictures hung up of playmates from throughout the decades in the 70s and 80s.
Oh,
They were a little more hairy.
oh, Hugh Hefner in the late '60s had a variety show called Playboy After Dark, and
What?
it was like the first variety show to have black performers on. There was like Duke Ellington and Nat King Cole and Sammy was on there, and like crazy things would happen because it was a lot of body humor and a lot of music and stuff. I remember Joanne Worley was on there. Like this was like right at the height of laughing, you know, and she's like, "Oh my God, don't talk about my dimples. Look at your dimples, Hugh. You're a playboy. You're a playgirl yourself, you little devil."
That sounds like something she'd say.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh my
yeah. Playboy
Jesus.
After Dark. Yeah, and
Playboy After Dark.
what were your go-to holiday specials as a kid?
Oh, with Christmas coming up, of course, the Rudolph special. Everyone had to watch the Rudolph special. Um, and remind me, was it the Rudolph special? Who had the heat miser? And remember, it was the freeze. Who are the two guys? Is it Claymation?
Rankin Bass.
Yeah, it was the heat miser.
Yes, there was Frosty, and then there was the Year
Right.
Without Santa Claus, and Santa Claus is Coming to
Mhm.
Town. My go-to holiday specials were like How the Grinch Stole Christmas,
Oh my gosh, yes.
Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas. That's the Muppet one, the Jim Henson Muppet one, and the Christmas toy. You were probably in high school when that came out. I was 3 when that came out, and I saw it the night it premiered.
The Christmas toy?
Yeah, it was on ABC, and it's about a stuffed tiger who is afraid of being replaced after being, you know, the favorite Christmas toy the year before, and so he's trying to like prevent the next toy from being opened and stuff. It's a cute little silly little story. It's like a half hour long. It's just really cute, and I used to
Aw.
watch that year round, even after Christmas was over, and I still know all the songs in it because it's a musical too. You know.
Hey, speaking of holiday movies,
Yes.
I have this memory of there's an Easter movie, probably by the same makers of like Santa Claus is Coming to Town, but it was an Easter movie and with the Easter bunny, but there was a bunny who had an iron tail.
Huh. That doesn't
Does
sound
that ring a
familiar.
bell?
No, I didn't see too much Easter stuff when I was a kid, and I always wondered why, you know.
Oh, well, of course, at Easter, though, you must have seen, speaking of movies, a Charlton Heston movie where he plays Moses.
Of course, the Ten Commandments was on every year on ABC,
Yes.
and The Sound of
Oh
Music was
my
on
goodness.
NBC. Yeah,
Oh, The Sound of Music. Yeah,
yeah.
that and then The Wizard of Oz. Speaking of being a kid when there was only 4 TV channels to watch,
Hmm.
the night The Wizard of Oz would come on,
Right.
it's like, oh, you knew all your friends were watching The Wizard of Oz.
Yes.
You talked about it at school the day of, and then the next day you talk about it because you all watched it
Hmm.
that night. Yeah, I kind of miss when we only. That's the thing I miss about back when we only had the network channels. Is we all were kind of watching the same stuff, and you could talk about it.
Yeah, like a few years ago, NBC stopped showing the Charlie Brown specials, and so PBS bought them for like two
Mhm.
seasons, and then they stopped doing it. Even before Trump defunded PBS, they stopped showing it. I was like, why? I mean, didn't it get a good rating or something?
I mean, it's Charlie Brown.
Yeah,
It's the Great Pumpkin.
right. Yeah,
Like, how can you not Charlie Brown? Although Lucy was kind of mean to Charlie.
yeah, yes, she was.
She was mean. She pulled that football away. So
And Patty, Patty,
yeah.
Patty used to call him Blockhead.
Chuck.
Chuck, yeah, they all called him Chuck. Oh my God! So like my favorite holiday movies are like the original Miracle on 34th Street. You were in the remake, of course.
Yes, I was in the remake. Yes, I was.
Christmas Vacation, A Christmas Story, and Bad Santa.
Oh, you didn't mention my favorite. I love Elf from
Elf is
Will
good.
Ferrell.
Elf
Oh
is
my
good.
gosh, I watched Elf. I have an Elf T-shirt with Will Ferrell's face on it,
Hmm.
dressed up as Buddy the Elf, and I wear it. I wore it home for
Er,
Christmas last year. So I'm going through the LAX airport, and I get up to security, and he smiles and he goes, Will Ferrell. And I'm like, where? And I turned around and I'm like, oh my gosh, where is he? Where is he? And the security guard goes, he's on your shirt. I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. I'm wearing my my Elf T-shirt.
Ernest Saves
So yeah,
Christmas
I mean
was another favorite.
that. Oh yeah, A Christmas Story with Ralphie.
Yep. And I love Christmas horror movies. I love Black Christmas, and I love Christmas Evil, and oh God, what Blood Beat? Blood Beat's obscure. Blood Beat's about a Japanese samurai warrior that's like killing off a family in Wisconsin.
In Wisconsin, of all places.
Yeah, 1983. I interviewed the director. He was a Frenchman from Paris, and when he first came to the States, he came to Wisconsin and he lived there for years, and he made a very low budget horror movie there.
Hey, speaking of horror movies, this is not from the '80s again, but Netflix just did a series on Ed Gein.
Ed
The Geins
Gein's
or Gaines? Ed Gein, yeah.
Ed Gein, yeah.
Yeah. But have you watched it?
No.
It was really interesting. It's not so much just about him, it's how he influenced different movies in Hollywood.
Hmm.
Like he influenced Texas Chainsaw Massacre, of course, Psycho, Silence of the Lambs. So it was, yeah, it's really interesting because it's not just about this man, a serial killer, but how his choices influence some of the most iconic movies that we have today.
Oh, yeah, Hannibal Lecter.
Yes, he Ed Gaines influenced the character of Buffalo Bill.
Yep.
Hmm.
Buffalo Bill. Yeah, that guy. Oh my God. Horrible. Just turning people into clothes and just, oh my God, just awful stuff. Um, yeah, so getting into music, do you remember like the first album you were given or you bought with your own money?
You know what? I saved money. I did chores around the house
Hmm.
to buy a Dolly Parton Greatest Hits album.
Love it.
And I still have, yeah, I remember she had on the cover, she's got her beautiful Dolly Parton smile she's wearing a red bandana in her hair.
Hmm.
And yeah, I was so proud of that. I washed a lot of dishes to make money to buy my Dolly Parton Greatest Hits. Yeah, I grew up listening to country music.
Really?
Like Dolly Parton and Crystal Gale and Conway Twitty and
Hmm. Did you ever though
all those guys.
did you ever at least get into the blues because you were in Chicago?
I grew up on a farm outside of Chicago, so no, I did not until I moved to Chicago. And I would just go to like some of the blues bars. I had an apartment
Hmm.
that was down an alleyway from Kingston Mines.
Yeah.
And I would sometimes crawl out of my fire escape to listen to the live music that was coming from Kingston Mines. Yeah.
There's so many great bands from Chicago though, like Chicago and Survivor and Cheap Trick, they're all from there.
Hmm. Yeah, speaking of Cheap Trick, they're actually from Rockford, Illinois.
Rockford. Yes. Well,
Yes.
it's adjacent.
Yeah, well, I grew up on a farm in Illinois. Our farm was about 30 miles from Rockford. So we would have to drive to Rockford to get a Big Mac or to go see a movie. And I remember it was not uncommon to be going to the movies at the malls in Rockford and see Rick Nielsen and his kids stand in line to get a ticket.
Yeah,
Or you'd
Sticks.
see him in the grocery store or something. Yeah.
How about Sticks?
Mm-hmm.
They're from Chicago.
Sticks.
Yeah,
Oh, are they?
yeah.
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of actors out of Chicago too, like the Kovac. We
Oh,
were just talking about the Kozaks.
Joe Mantegna and Dennis Franz and oh God, well, John Lithgow, Meshack Taylor, a lot of Chicago people. Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, speaking of
Malkovich.
blues,
Hmm.
Malkovich. Oh yeah, because John Malkovich and Gary Sinise started the Steppenwolf Theater in Chicago.
And Laurie Metcalf and Glenn Headley was a part of it too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think Jane Lynch is from Chicago.
Yes, she is.
She used to do work at the Annoyance Theater.
Yeah, she was in Second City, I think. Yeah, my dad had a rock band, and like he had everything on vinyl. He had the Beatles, the Stones, the Beach Boys. Rod Stewart was a big one. The Johnny Cash album I mentioned earlier, the Folsom
Mm-hmm.
Prison
Right.
one. Captain Beefheart. I mean, he was very versatile in what he liked and what my mom liked too. My mom's a big Motown girl, and she loves pop. I mean, just even the worst bad pop songs she loves.
Yeah, my mom had all of her vinyls. What the smaller ones are the 45s, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. And then because she had all of them. She had Elvis and Nat King Cole, and I would play all those. And what's it called? There's that little yellow thing that you put in the middle of a 45
The
so that you can put it on the record player.
the needle or the groove or
Remember that?
something. Um,
Yeah, there's got to be a name for it. It's because the hole
Turntable,
in the 45 was too
turntable,
big.
turntable, right?
No, there was a little yellow disc you'd actually put on the record itself.
I don't know.
It, I'll send you a picture of it.
Okay.
There's probably people listening to us going, I know what it's called.
I
Yeah, because a 45 would not fit
mhm.
on what a 33 would go on. So you'd put this little yellow disc in the middle of the 45 record that had a teeny tiny hole in it so that it would fit on your record player in the way a 33 would fit.
Mhm.
Am I making any sense at all?
No, I haven't had a record player since I was like 7. That was the last time we had a record player until it went kaput. Because it was old technology. But yeah, I mean, I had vinyl records. I had the Peace Dragon soundtrack, and it skipped. You know.
Yeah. Hey, did you ever have, speaking of, okay, this is not movie or TV, but is the 80s. Did you ever have a Atari?
My brother did. He had the Porky's Atari game. He had the Mash Atari. It was funny, like looking back now, and I've seen them on eBay since because I wanted to see them again because it'd been like 35 years or whatever. But yeah, he played all those games. He had Nintendo like when it first came out and stuff.
Yeah, I remember we got the Atari and it came with Pac-Man and Combat.
Yeah, he had
And
Pac-Man too. Yeah.
Mhm. It had this joystick. They called it a joystick. And I
Yep.
remember playing it so much, I would have a blister on the inside of my thumb
Yeah.
from the joystick.
Yep. Oh my God. A couple of my first concerts I ever went to was like I saw the Monkees at Candlestick Park before a Giants game. It was only 3 of them, and they drove off the field in a Cadillac after they were done. And I saw Alice Cooper. Oh my God, he's vaudeville. He puts on a show. That guy, and
Really?
yeah, and he kills himself at the end of every show. I can't remember what I saw. I think he hung himself. Maybe he got hung or something. I can't remember, but
Oh my goodness.
he does
So he
that.
does put on quite a theatrical.
Yeah, I mean he's like 100 pounds, and he's in his late
Mhm.
70s. He's still doing it. I mean, he's meant to do it.
Yeah, well, so's what's his name? Rod Stewart.
Rod Stewart.
Not Rod Stewart. Well, Rod Stewart's still out there. Yes, he is.
Yeah.
And then Mick Jagger is what I'm thinking of.
The Stones, yeah.
He's like 80. Oh my gosh, he's like 80 and just like dancing and moving around that stage.
Keith turns 82 next week.
Wow.
Keith Richards, yeah, they're doing it till the day they die. That's what the blues men do, you know.
Yeah, well, good, and they should. That's probably why they're doing so well. They're doing what they love. They're getting out there. I went to the Hollywood Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
This was a few years ago, and Tony Bennett was there.
Oh.
And Tony Bennett, when he came out on the stage, said he was like 91 at the time or something. But he ran out on stage. Ran out. He just was singing, and when he was done, this was at the Hollywood Bowl, and he'd say to the audience, "Let's do another one. What do you want to hear?" I mean, he was taking suggestions. You know? But I said that's why he's 92 and still running around, because he's doing what he loves.
Do you remember your first makeout song?
Oh my God, my first makeout song?
Yeah.
Probably had to have been like one of the hair bands.
Oh,
probably.
Love it.
Like, yeah. I can't remember a specific song, but I'm sure it was, the 80s hair band type of vibe. I'm
a huge hair metal fan. God, I listen to a bunch of hair metal podcasts because there's so many of them out there now. But yeah, Janet Jackson's Love Will Never Do Without You was my first, and it led to my first heavy petting experience.
Oh boy. Oh. Yeah. What was it called on Happy Days? Inspiration Point? Is that where they go?
Yes.
To make out, remember? Yeah. Inspiration Point. And then Richie Cunningham would always sing, "I've found my thrills on Blueberry Hill." Yeah.
Yeah, that's Fats Domino. Yeah, oh, that's hilarious. Yeah, and there's also the makeout point in Animal House with the hand jobs going on. Do you remember the first time, whether it was intentional or not, that you saw porn?
Intentional? The first time I saw it?
Yeah.
I don't know if I necessarily remember the first time, but I do remember I had a girlfriend her dad must have had porn, because she would show it to us and we would just giggle and laugh and giggle.
Yeah, because it's so over the top.
Yeah, oh my God, it was just so, the acting, of course everyone knows the acting in the beginning is always so bad and so over the top and so silly. And at least what porn I've seen, the men in the porn are not usually very attractive.
No.
There's a horrible saying they use for women.
Yes.
Butterface. You're butterface. I think the men in pornos are butterface.
Yes. They've gotten a little bit better. If you go on formerly Twitter, which is now called X, and you see like the OnlyFans porn stars posting stuff, you can see guys, they're like in really really good shape. They work out and stuff, and some of them are white, some of them are black, Latino, whatever, and they it's gotten better. But back in the day, yeah, just awful.
Who was that guy? Ron Jeremy?
Oh God. I actually met him once. I was at Monsterpalooza, the horror con in L.A., and I used to see him there all the time walking around. And one time, this was actually the first one I ever went to. I'm walking with a couple of canes because it was a year after my car crash and everything. And I'm outside waiting for my friend, and Ron Jeremy's sitting on the bench, and all the benches are occupied, right? And he's like texting or whatever, and he looks up and sees me as I'm standing there waiting for my friend, and he says, "Hey man, you don't have to stand there. You can come sit here. I'm getting up." And I'm like, "Oh, thank you, Mr. Jeremy. That's very nice of you."
No pun intended.
Yes, and that was very nice, I thought. I'm not surprised about all the accusations I've heard though, because he was out there, but I was 10, like, my mom worked for the cable company for many, many years, and like we had this channel called the Spice Channel, and I'm flipping through the channels, and that first heavy petting experience I made reference to came in handy after seeing this because this guy's fingering this girl and stuff. I don't know the name of that movie, but I thank it for helping me.
Oh, no, it's sad to think, unfortunately, how many young men probably learned about sex from
Yeah,
um, sneaking and watching porn movies.
yeah.
And yeah, probably not the best go-to, but I
Not the
guess
not the
you,
best
you got to
go-to.
learn somewhere.
Yeah, you got to learn somewhere, and that was certainly the case in me. I think in general, my generation is fucked up because of porn. I think that's why a lot of us, haven't been able to meet the right ones until maybe later in life because it kind of hindered us, in a way.
Yeah. I think, yeah, because you see the actual physical side of it,
Hmm.
but yeah, you don't. No one explains to you the the other parts of it. The
Yeah,
more uh, the more loving, fun parts that women enjoy as well.
exactly. Do you remember the first time you discovered your belly button?
Oh my gosh, I was probably a kid. I do remember the first time going when you have that belly button fuzz.
Yeah, the lint.
Yeah, the lint. Like, how'd that get in there?
Does yours have freckles?
Oh, mine's an innie.
Yeah, but does it have like freckles around it and stuff?
Oh, freckles?
Yeah,
No. Oh, freckles.
yeah.
No. For a redhead, I don't have a lot of freckles.
Interesting. Interesting.
I do not.
Have you ever dated a
Yeah.
guy, have you ever dated a guy that had an Audi?
No.
When I was in my 20s, I went on a date with this girl I met on a dating website, and we were having coffee, and I don't know, we went down a rabbit hole of talking about belly buttons, and she told me that if I had a doorknob Audi, it would be a deal breaker. So I lifted up my shirt and showed her what I had, and she had this big old sigh of relief, but she still didn't feel a spark between us, so she let me down easily in email later.
Well, maybe she really had an Audi fetish. She just hadn't admitted it to herself yet.
I never thought of that before. Maybe. People are fucking
Never
goofy
know.
and weird. that is
Yes.
that is a possibility. But yes, it is definitely a fetish of mine. I like innies, outies, in betweenies. I don't care. You know. I just
See,
think they're hot.
yeah. Right. We'll see where the conversation goes when you bring up Ron Jeremy.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
So how are your Zoom classes going?
Oh, they're going great. Yeah, I teach improv on Zoom every
Mm-hmm.
Monday night. I will
Mm-hmm.
be teaching it tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I started it during COVID. I call it improv for life. So
Yeah.
it's improv for everybody. And 5 years later, people are still showing up every Monday night. So we're still doing it. It's fun. It's been really fun because I have people from California in Zoom, and because it's Zoom, we have Illinois, Utah, Canada comes in. We had an improviser from Honolulu coming in for a while.
Mm-hmm.
We call it modern day pen pals.
Nice. Modern day pen pals. That's a pretty catchy name.
Mm. Yeah. No, it's great. Like I said, I have actors in my Zoom improv class and stand-ups, but I also have a real estate agent. I have a junior high science teacher. Yeah, it's called improv for life because life is one big improv. So
It is. It is.
I just think improv skills, everyone can benefit from them
Mm-hmm.
because we're improvising our days all day long.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should come to one of my Zoom classes.
I
What time zone are
I
you in?
I'm in California, and I remember you telling me that last time we talked. And I know I want to do it. It's just my schedule is just all over the place and stuff. But I promise I will come to one. I will.
Okay, you can pop in as my guest. I think you will love it. I'm going to keep bothering you until you
I will do it.
join
I
us.
promise I will do it. I feel
And you know
bad.
what? You
Oh
don't even
God,
have it. What?
I was gonna say I feel bad that I missed you in June because you were in Chicago and I was in L.A.
Yes. You definitely have to come to the Zoom class. And you cannot use the excuse of your time zone, because you're in the California time zone. We're the same time zone.
Oh yeah, no. The time zone's not an excuse. It's just my schedule of what I'm doing, But I definitely want to do it. I had a blast though when I was in LA back in June. I mean, seeing Shelley at Story Smash was great, and I
And you
got.
saw Terry, right? Terry Bolo?
Yep,
Did you see her too?
she was the first one I saw. We had lunch when I first got to
Aw.
town. I was friggin' exhausted. I had to drink a lot of coffee, I remember, and we just had a beautiful lunch. Me, her, and my buddy. We were just having a ball.
Aw.
And I met so many icons at the Hollywood show. It was friggin' expensive. I don't think I'll go back again, but hey, I'm glad at least I did it once.
You mean the Hollywood show was expensive, or just Los Angeles?
Well, of course it's gonna be expensive in general, but the Hollywood show was just
Yeah.
insane. Oh my God. I mean, the whole convention circuit has gotten pretty pricey, but that was just, oh my God, it was insane.
Well, I was just bummed that I missed you. Your family down in LA, and I was back in Chicago.
Yeah, hopefully I'm going to go out again next year. I'll let you know. There's so many people that want to see me that have been on the show and stuff, and so many people I want to see, and
Hmm.
definitely I will reach out to you when I do. But I promise I will come to a class.
Good. Well, all you got to do is sit in front of your computer and turn it on. It's that easy. There's no getting
Yeah,
stuck in traffic, trying to find parking because it's on Zoom.
and I go on other people's podcasts on Zoom anyway, so it's not like it's a stretch.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I have a couple jokes for
So I
you.
think, oh, you do.
Mm-hmm.
Hit me.
Okay. Why did Frosty the Snowman have a smile on his face?
Oh, God. Why?
He saw the little snowblower across the street.
Aw, very cute.
What's the worst thing about a family Thanksgiving in the South?
What?
The sexual tension.
Oh, my God. Yeah. What else you got?
You know the difference between a golf ball and a G spot?
What?
A man rather spend 20 minutes looking for a golf ball.
True that. Now, see, some jokes are funny because they're true.
Exactly. Yep, comedy is rooted in truth, by far. Well, Melinda, I love you. Thank you so much for coming back on and nerding out with me today.
Oh, absolutely. When you said nerding out, I go, I can nerd out. I can do that. Nerd. Yep. That's my middle name.
Absolutely. And again, I'll tell you when I'm available to come to the class. And until then, you have a happy holiday season and be safe out there.
You too. Happy holidays, and may you enjoy a lot of wonderful retro holiday movies.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.
Mwah. Well, there you have it. Melinda Chilton. Ain't she a sweetheart? Oh my God, her energy is just so infectious and fun and wild and spontaneous and open-minded and improvisational. I just friggin' love her. She's a gem. She's the booby prize. I just adore her. And go check out her Zoom improv classes. She's on social media, Facebook, Instagram, the whole nine yards. I will definitely make an appearance on one of those, and it will be fantastic. I was so terrible at improv in high school, but I'm sure I can learn a thing or two from Melinda. Well, until next time, this is Tommy Throwback Kovac saying there's no shame in living in the past because the present sucks. Later, dudes.